Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I am back with another video. I hope everyone's doing incredibly well. I'm on today to share a reading about right now the spiritual connection between both divine masculine and divine feminine because I'm feeling a reset to the connection, okay? A lot of the negativity seeping away, many of us, waking up from the fog, really fighting through the negative influences on the journey. So many of you went into this feeling love at such a high vibration, and on your path to searching for answers, your vibration has been bogged down. And I've been feeling called to help the collective to connect a lot more with your own intuition and start praying. Many of us need to start praying and reaching out more to the divine, however that resonates with you, and ask for guidance on the journey. And the reason I'm saying that is because we can't rely on these tarot readings, okay? Especially not on social media platforms. It's just part of the journey. It's part of the lesson. And I feel that many of you will feel that signal in your heart as to which readers in the community are genuinely here to help you along the path and to provide guidance, to provide you with someone to lean on, to provide you with people who feel like family, who are really here to have your back. It's just like out there in the real world, right? You live life, and sometimes you meet the good guys and sometimes you meet the bad guys. But the important lesson is that you're able to discern and you're able to develop yourself spiritually enough to be able to pick up on other people's energy, okay? So I'm feeling this call to just bring the love and the romance back to the collective. I feel like, again, I've talked about it in past readings, but we go through like this roller coaster effect. Many of you can feel like, oh, here we go again, back at square one. But you're not necessarily back at square one. There's been so many shifts and so many changes since you've been back at square one. Okay, so I feel like this is just a period of time right now where many of the masculines want to speak. Okay, and one of the major messages I've been getting from them is that they don't like the separation. They're very uncomfortable with the idea of you moving forward and really escaping the whole dramatics. And I think that that is because they're just not there yet. And they will get there. I'm sensing that many of them will get there. And the reason I know that is because many feminines are just starting to embody the confidence that it takes to disengage from people, places, and things that no longer serve. And when you did it to your masculine, the ripple effect is that your masculine is going to start doing it in their reality, okay? So, like, what I'm being called to do is just to use these particular decks to deliver messages about the divine masculine spiritual growth on the journey. Like when they deeply tune in to this whole connection with you, divine feminine, like, what do they want you to know at this time? Despite the fact that you both have this unspeakable connection towards each other, they still have to live out their physical lives, right? Just like you do, divine feminine. But many of us are curious as to what it is that's going on with them. And I feel like a lot of feminines now, especially if you've been charging through that inner work, when you're in the high priestess energy, you're starting to recognize that the reason you're led to certain readings or certain pieces of information is to know like what type of energy to be in order to assist your counterpart, because if they're going through certain changes, it's going to affect your energy, divine feminine, and vice versa. Okay, like your masculines can pick up when you're stressed, when you have anxiety, when you're in trouble. When you guys get out of that quickly or you bounce back, you better believe it's your divine counterpart who has your back. Like what I'm getting to tell a lot of you is that you don't know that your divine masculine can pick up on your energy, and they'll stop out of their day, and however they pray or however they reach out to the universe for assistance without even thinking about it. And this is something like, it's so hidden, okay? But I feel like it's time for the information to come out. Many of your masculines, they would never tell a soul that they will stop in their day take a deep breath, they'll try to overcome the anxiety that you're going through in the physical, and they'll say a prayer for you. Like, they'll ask, or just kind of like, I don't know, I'm seeing a masculine who does like the cross with their hands. Other masculines might just say a silent prayer, but they think about you and they send that energy to you, okay? And despite like whatever's been happening with you both in this connection, if you're still feeling your masculine and you're still feeling this like beautiful love vibration between you two, especially after you recover from a lot of the separation trauma, like that's the beautiful sign of a true twin flame connection, okay? So I have 3 cards here. Let's find out what's happening with the masculines. All right, so we have the seven of autumn. I was going to say pentacles because that's what autumn represents in this deck here. So any earth signs, it says have patience, don't worry, take time to rest, plan your next steps, a prudent investment of time or money, okay? So I feel like if we're gonna kind of clear out the smoke, swim through the murky, muddy water, many of your divine masculines want you to know the truth. A lot of them are working on their finances. And if you guys look for symbols of butterflies around you, even pumpkins, because they're sitting on a pumpkins, you can see how the card shows pictures of things that take patience, right? For a butterfly to bloom, it has to sit in the phase of, I think they call it what, metamorphosis. They have to, sit in the hanged man position, if you will, right? Pumpkins take a long time to grow. A lot of the times you might plant a pumpkin patch and the size of the pumpkins might astound you, okay? So what I feel like many of your masculines are wanting you to know is like their mind right now is focused on pentacles, and it's a slow process for them because they're also working through certain types of karma that they've attracted. And the type of karma that they've attracted, if it's put them into the dark world, they have to kind of face these demons. And these demons are like, you know what, like, fuck, I messed up. Let me just go ahead and drink or do drugs or distract myself with sex or porn or whatever the case is. And it really drains their energy and their body. But that's a point where it signals change, because it's almost like they come to like that brink of between like life and death and like major suffering. And what many of you don't know is that you're the light that ends up resuscitating them, divine feminine, okay? Many of them now are just kind of resting and like taking time to heal. Like, this journey takes patience. A lot of them are focused on the material world as well, because that has really suffered with many of the divine masculines. They've taken a major hit or a major blow to their finances. And again, I feel like that is karma. A lot of the times when they experience, oh, sorry guys, that was like my hip bone cracking there because I moved my leg. A lot of the times when many of the masculines, they experience financial loss, it's the universe's way of signaling them to let them know that they're either squandering money, they're not respecting money, they don't have a beautiful relationship to money, they're always chasing money, they're always living paycheck to paycheck. They're surrounded by people who squander their money for them, and although they should speak up, they don't. All of these things are kind of coming on their plate right now, and they're just kind of having to eat through it like, a kid that doesn't like vegetables. But at the end of the day, it's good for you to really take part in the karma that you've attracted and do it with grace. And believe me, the more you do it with grace, the more you start taking accountability for yourself. That's what I feel, or I see for many of the divine masculines, is that they're starting to eat that broccoli with a smirk or a smile on their face, because a lot of the times when they were going through this in the past, they stayed stuck because they were blaming, right? Like, oh, the feminine came in and just like ruined my life. Now I'm having all of these problems. Now it's not the feminine, it's, wait a second, I've attracted all of this karma. And I guess what I'm trying to say is many masculines are sitting in this position. Look at the boy munching the apple, resting on the pumpkins. I've made my bed and now I have to lay in it. But that's huge for the masculines, because again, I feel like they weren't taking accountability before and just accumulating more negative cycles, whereas now they're just kind of they're dealing with it and they're absorbing it and they are taking accountability and responsibility. And the hardest part about taking responsibility right now, Divine Feminine, is like the distance it's created between you both. Such great distance that neither of you can joke about it, right? Weeks later, neither of you can kind of pop up with a, hey, what's going on? Or, hey, you, it's like, there's none of that. Like, too much damage has been done. So a lot of them are just, sitting in this energy of absorbing the memories, absorbing the thoughts, questioning what they would do next, okay, what they would do differently. And then we have the 9 of Spring, or the 9 of Wands, and it says, protect the fruits of your labors, prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead, environmental conservation. This might be, again, a lot of the energy that's coming through. Like, this is the Contemplation card. Like, if a lot of you are like, I wonder what is on their mind while they're in the physical world, having to have patience. It's this energy here of nearing completion. Protecting the fruits of your labor means like you're almost there. Okay, so now it's time to prepare, like if something goes wrong, or if they still have a lot of their ego that's coming up even after they're contemplating or being in this hangman position. A lot of them know that they just can't approach the connection at this time without doing some of this healing, or at least without sitting down and spending some time alone. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of the divine masculines. Like, I'm seeing a divine masculine too, who's usually the life of the party, and they've been like the flat tire since your last separation with them, Divine Feminine. But that's because it's put them into a place of deep reflection. You put them in an energy that's been so heavy that they can't even fake being the life of the party, right? So of course that's going to push them into the isolation. Okay, but I feel like this card is positive in the sense where it is letting the divine masculines know that you've done a lot of work behind the scenes, and many of the divine feminines can feel that because it's giving them the courage to move forward and move away, which in turn is giving many of the divine masculines, that push to go into deep contemplation and reflection. Because when the feminines decide to move forward, they start feeling more vibrant, more energetic, they're socializing more, and it triggers the masculines. It makes them kind of cower and want to like hermit and spy on her, right? But again, I feel like all of this is happening because of just, certain karmic cycles needing to either balance, or justice needing to take place, or, there's just been something that's occurred. I don't know, the last time you connected with your person, and it was just one of those things, right, that sent you over the edge of even contemplating what the heck are you doing here on this journey with this person. Like, is it about them? Is it about you? Like, you've been losing yourself since you've been with them. It's time to get back to who it is you are, and that's been the walking away. And that's, I feel like, the life experience card coming up for many of you. And I'll read you the lesson. It says, or the lesson, I'll read you the lesson. I'll read you the message. Let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. So again, I feel like it was the decision that the divine feminine had to make in order to walk away. Like, it was definitely a difficult decision to make. But the old belief system was that you had to stay because it was your twin, right? A lot of you were like, wait a second, that kind of sounds like some outdated shit, because maybe that's why people have been on the journey for, years. I feel like many of us are awakening so that twin flames don't have to consistently incarnate on the planet to spend years working through these cycles. It'll more just be, it'll go from years to year, and then months, and then weeks, hopefully, and then days, and then, hopefully it is just instant, where we're able to read each other's energy to the point where we're able to, hopefully let go of karmic cycles completely and ascend altogether into another experience. Okay, so that was interesting. Let's go ahead and use the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And if some of you, I don't know, just maybe need that nudge from your divine masculines, letting you know that they still think about you and they still feel a lot of the passion towards you. What does the Tarot of Sexual Magic want to say about the intimate feelings that you're feeling for your counterpart right now? Okay, so the major arcana here is the Star card. Okay, so if you're a divine feminine tuning in, you're your masculine's dream come true. They don't want you to lose sight of the fact that you both are each other's dream come true. I feel like many masculines are creating experiences in your dreams or giving you certain nostalgic feelings at this time to help you remember why you two came together, because it's that very vibrant love energy that makes you feel like you're at a very high frequency, divine feminine. Don't get it twisted. It's not your masculine that's a narcissist and they're this and they're that. Trust yourself, trust your body. What does your body say, like when you're in contact with them and it feels good? Like, just because they're ghosting or they need space to work out their karmic situations doesn't mean they're a narcissist. It doesn't mean that they're this or they're that, or they're human. I mean, I'm married with a child, and it's taken me hella long to work through that. And you know what I told my masculine? My son is my first priority, my first and foremost priority. And twin flames or not, baby, like this connection or not, like I need to do what's best for my kid. You know what I mean? And like, hell yeah, it created a lot of distance between us. But at the end of the day, I'm his wish come true, because hell yeah, he's attracted to the type of woman that's going to put her kid first, right? He loves that shit. He loves it with all of his heart. So, you know, many of you need to, tune in or tap into the connection with your hearts again. Like, ignore all tarot readers. Ask yourself, ask your heart what this person means to you. Like, what does this connection mean to you? What has it taught you? Have you developed in any way? Have you spiritually grown in any way despite the hurt? Okay, because a lot of your masculines here are feeling the changes with the 5 this wands coming through. I was actually going to say swords because my eyes glimpsed down at the big sword here beside him that he's kind of like petting as well. It's kind of something I noticed. Almost like, you want to test the sharpness of the sword. I feel that a lot of your masculines at this time are trying to get through to you, okay? But again, if you notice, he's kind of like looking out at the couple making love there. When you guys get caught up in like tarot readings and stuff that promote like toxicity, or you're just fixated, I think not the same Jen from back then actually shared a beautiful comment in the last reading, and she's like, you know what, sometimes I listen to these tarot readings and all of a sudden I think it's my story and I start envisioning my masculine as doing these things. Or do you know what I mean? It's like you start making up stories in your head thinking it's your connection. Like, that's how that shit will fuck with you, bro. So you guys have to make sure that you're able to tune people out, and you're able to discern, and you're able to walk your own path with discernment and faith. As long as you're doing whatever it is you want to do, and as long as it makes you happy, it doesn't matter what any tarot reader says. It doesn't matter what kind of gifts they're telling you they had, or how many ancestors or guides connect with them. They don't have any power over your journey. You are the power here, okay? Your masculines are being affected with certain dark energies like jealousy, wondering if you're out there doing the same types of things that they were doing while they were out there, right? And it hurts so bad to imagine the divine feminine being out there the way the divine masculine was out there. But again, many divine feminines, believe me, like, you guys don't need to be out there. Like, you guys are way too caught up in your heads and in your mind and your high priestess energy to even let anybody, any physical soul, tamper with your energy. Many of the divine feminines right now, if masculines, if you're tuning in and you're worried about this, don't let your vices get the best of you. Your feminine's been celibate for months, if not years. Your divine feminine is more concerned with developing spiritually than romping around with some man dem. You know what I mean? So be sure to, again, guys, be mindful of what you're listening to and who is influencing you on this twin flame journey. And make sure that you guys are waking up and recognizing that this is a soul spiritual relationship. It has nothing to do with a relationship in the 3D physical world. All right. Many of us are being called now, especially as readers, to wake up and not ourselves get influenced by other types of energy that's out there in the community as well. Remember to stand strong and stay connected to your truth so that you guys can continue to be true guides on the journey, okay? And always remember too, if somebody's sharing stuff about twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine, when you're a true guide or teacher, you're going to share certain parts of your journey. You're going to be vulnerable. You're going to let people know that you've been there, you've done that. It's not going to be just a whole bunch of card meanings spitting out of your mouth pertaining to everyday situations that people go through, right? A true twin flame reader is going to have some substance and some experience to back up the readings that they share because they're rolling through the same dirt as you guys. All right? I love you guys. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next reading. All right? Bye.